That's right. I am back. I'm officially coming back for podcasts, and we'll be doing every podcast for the remainder of ComboLG, really. So it's good to be back. Can't wait to start this podcast off and get going with the next ones.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another ComboLG podcast. I am your host, Avengers. Alongside us is Mr. Return. Lima.
What's up, guys? How's everything going?
As y'all know, there haven't been many podcasts. There have been weeks being skipped, and if y'all don't know why, it's because I am moving. I am in the moving process right now, so everything's kind of hectic with me. But we're going to try to put these out as much as possible. I should be fully moved in by this Saturday, so podcasts should come back regularly without an issue at all. I really hope so, because if it doesn't, that's on me. But
yeah,
of course, we're here with week 15.
Alright, so starting with the recap of last week, as you can see, there were the first 4 games were either straight sim or force. That was because two CPU games, a game that was unable to be played, and another game that was unable to be played. But the first played game, Packers and Browns, let's take a look at that one.
That's something to say, because look at that. It's one of our league leaders, Hungry, the Browns.
Yeah, and first game in the league for the Packers. And let me tell you, what a way to start it off.
Yeah, no kidding. Taking down one of the league leaders when there's that much.
Yeah.
That's just
and
crazy, guys.
This is, from the stats here, it actually looks like it was a closer game than the score tells you. But
yeah, but as we can see, the second quarter wasn't ran by Blackheart Swab.
Yeah.
He packed it on even more. Turnovers. Hungry had some turnovers. Might have hurt him even more.
Yeah, and it was 6-4 for that. I'm wondering. I'm guessing that since the score is like this and the stats are so close, that Blackheart Swab was able to capitalize on all those turnovers, and Ungwe probably was not able to capitalize on the turnovers that he got.
But if we go into player stats, first we see his passing. Neither quarterback, MVP Aaron Rodgers versus rookie Deshaun Kaiser, just neither one of them having a very good game.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers 222 yards, a touchdown, 4 interceptions, sacked 5 times. 5 of those sacks probably maybe coming from league leader Myles Garrett, and then Deshaun Kaiser with 281 yards, a touchdown, 5 interceptions, sacked twice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, I think it's safe to say, even with like the new update that came out recently and defenders playing everything more aggressively, it's uncharacteristic for Aaron Rodgers to have a game like this.
Oh, yes.
Alright. Going over to rushing. It's, I mean, not very good for the Browns. Packers, Ty Montgomery did okay. 4.6 average, 96 yards and a touchdown. But other than that, there wasn't much rushing.
No, there wasn't. In the receiving, let's see who actually did lead. Jordy Nelson. Really not as surprised to see Jordy Nelson at the top of the Packers. He's been a very, very big threat for the Packers his whole career. And with him with 5 receptions, 99 yards, a touchdown, it's not a surprise to see. But then we see Corey Coleman coming off of an injury from last season.
Yeah, and
this game, 1 reception, 85 yards and a touchdown. It might have been his only pass. Honestly, did he? Forgot it doesn't say if they dropped some.
Yeah, it's weird. Even if there was a drop sign, I really wouldn't rely on it because stats have been a little off for some reason.
Yeah.
But looking at this, you see there's only 2 touchdowns in the receiving game and 1 touchdown in the rushing game, so that just tells you that the rest of those touchdowns for Blackheart Swab must have been all turnovers, defensive touchdowns. And I think another thing I want to point out, the Browns passing out of the backfield with Charles Sims 7 receptions, and Isaiah Crowell 8 receptions. So he's got his running backs really involved in the pass game.
Oh yes, it's not a surprise to see. But apparently in this game it didn't help that they were in the receiving game.
No, not much. Alright. Yeah, so going over to defense, let's see those sacks. Okay. Well, 2 for Emmanuel Ogbah, 2 for Myles Garrett, and 1 for Danny Shelton from the Browns. And then 1 for Christian Ringo, 1 for Kenny Clark for the Packers.
And just to say, guys, if y'all haven't noticed it, maybe you're not part of this league, but you just like to watch these. Myles Garrett is a rookie out of Texas A&M and is leading the league in sacks. I think what he's at 26.5.
Yeah, it's a crazy number, and he is a beast. Already up in the 90s overall wise, and he is a rookie, still young, and oh my, he's going to be 99 soon, and will remain a beast for that team and for years to come.
In interceptions, though, we see Clinton Diggs with 2. We see Joe Hayden with 2. Kevin King, rookie out of Washington, with 2. 1 by Christian Kirksey, 1 by Jason McCourty, 1 by Morgan Burnett.
And looking at the yards, without even looking at touchdowns, you could probably say, Clinton Diggs got 1.
Let's see this. Forced fumbles, were there any? There's 1 by Jake Ryan actually forcing the fumble.
Was there a recovery? No.
It doesn't say so.
Yeah, it was probably offense recovered.
1 safety by Christian Ringo. So it looks like that sack Christian Ringo had actually became a safety.
Yeah. And, yeah, like we said, okay, so see, this is where, yeah, Clinton Diggs with the pick 6, but see, this is where stats aren't right, because you see fumble return yards.
65,
yeah,
65.
but he doesn't have a fumble recovery. So that's...
I'm gonna guess that's the one off of Jake Ryan forcing the fumble and he picking it up.
Yeah, I think that's fair to assume.
Well, good job to Black Suave. We know he's good.
Hold up. There was a kick return touchdown, too, by Randall Cobb.
Oh, Randall Cobb getting in the field. But like we said, Blackheart Suave was the 49ers last in Madden 17 for ComboLG. Blew it out of the water and made the playoffs. And he's coming into this. He's coming into this league doing the same thing. Good luck to you next season.
Yeah.
Already starting off great. Good luck to you on the week. Hopefully the rest of your season pans out.
Alright, let's see what our next game is here. 49ers and Texans. And I was unable to watch this game. I was actually in class while it was going on. I know it was streamed, but...
it was a good game. The score might say it was a blowout, but all in all, it was a good game to watch.
That's good.
The Texans actually figured out that even though he doesn't have a passing game, that he might be able to run the ball. So he's taking that to heart and attack.
And he's got a good young running back with Foreman, so...
Yeah, he's got Lamar Miller already. He's got Foreman to back him up.
Yeah, and not the best O-line, but they definitely got some good people.
Player stats, though, we go into passing. We see C.J. Beathard, rookie out of Iowa, 283 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 1 interception, sacked 5 times. Deshaun Watson, 70 yards, 3 interceptions, sacked 3 times, and then Tom's average 3 yards. Which actually, this is a low for Deshaun Watson. He's thrown 5 to 10 picks a game. So him only throwing 3 isn't that bad.
Yeah, that's really not bad, especially with how aggressive.
But y'all gotta remember, guys, our Texans user is very new, so he's just learning now. So don't go in, oh, this guy's a loser, blah blah blah. He's new, and to even score on Debo though, that's something good to say.
Yeah, and going into rushing, Joe Williams, 18 attempts, 238 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That was a good performance. And then Lamar Miller getting in there too, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns as well. And then looking at the rookie Foreman, he had 2 carries, but for 19 yards, for an average of almost 10 per carry. So maybe if he gets some more carries, he might rack up some pretty good yards too.
Oh yeah, I saw that fumble too. It was a weird fumble because it was his Donta Foreman's first rush of pretty much the season, I think, or the game. And even this game is his first rush. He goes to the outside. He stiffed armed one guy, and then got hit and fumbled automatically. It was so weird to see because it's like I don't see that actually happening. Just fumbling off the bat like that.
That is a little weird. I had it happen with Lynch in my game too.
In the receiving game, though, Kenny Galladay, rookie out of North Illinois, 10 receptions, 265 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And nice to see that there was nothing else.
Yeah, and I'm not taking anything away from Debo here, but it looks like he just had 2 big performances, one on the run and one in the pass with the same 2 players. I mean, not taking anything away from him because that's really good, but I mean, nothing else anywhere else really. But everything else was pretty even. Just 2 receptions for Hopkins and Fedorowicz, and then 1 for everyone else. Moving on over to 4 players getting involved for the Texans. J.J. Watt with 2, Gilchrist with 1, Clowney with 1, and Whitney Merciless with 1. And then, let's see, 1 for Reuben Foster, 1 for Aaron Lynch, and then 1 for Eli Harold as well.
Which it's really surprising that it hasn't happened all season long, especially with Whitney Merciless, J.J. Watt, and Davion Clowney not getting pressure. It's really weird to see that they didn't get pressure all year long.
Yeah, those are a good trio of players right there.
And in the interception game, 2 by Navarro Bowman, 1 by Eli Harold, and 1 by Andre Hall.
See if there were any fumbles, forced fumble. We can't really look at fumble recoveries, I guess, but yeah, 2 for the Texans, 1 for Jadeveon Clowney, 1 for Brian Cushing, and then 1 for Zadarius Smith from the 49ers.
There was a defensive touchdown by Eli Harold on that interception.
Alright.
Congratulations to Debo. Good luck.
Bless you.
Sorry about that. Good luck to both of y'all for the seasons to come.
Alright, next one. This one we can't really look at the stats because it was a forced game, but this one was actually played. It was a good divisional battle. It was really close the whole way through. I mean, I can't really say much else about it. It was just other than it was a really good game. Really, like, defensive battle. Good defenses for both teams. But, yeah, the Chiefs, as you can see, were the one that came out on top. But that wasn't by that score, but, yeah, he came out on top.
Next we have the Lions and the Buccaneers. Buccaneers actually, second user for the Buccaneers came in after our first user left. And he's had a great season. And this is the first or second game for the Lions guy.
I think this was the first.
Game
might have been the second.
But as y'all can tell, some of these users coming in, taking down the Goliath of top teams or top users we have in this league.
Yeah, that's right. Both new guys coming in and winning their games. Ooh. 7 interceptions for Jameis Winston. Wow.
Jameis Winston throwing 7 interceptions. Matthew Stafford had a game though, 319 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, sacked 4 times. Jameis Winston had 52 yards. But he's actually, the Buccaneers has had a really good run game. Not really a passing game, but a run game. Ooh, you can see it in this game.
Yeah, and also good running for the Lions in this one. He had two running backs that did pretty good. 10 attempts for 109 yards, and
CJ Logan.
each averaging about 10 yards a carry.
Oh, Jameis Winston. It looks like he tried running with Jameis Winston. Fumbled twice.
Yeah, probably heard him. Wow. Keith Marshall held to 34 yards off 15 attempts. That's really nobody so far has been able to shut the run game down from the Bucs. But even though he had 100 yards team-wise, I would say that this was a good game for the Lions defensively, shutting down his running back.
We go into the receiving game, and it's not a surprise to see these top two people on the top of this list. Mike Evans, 3 receptions, 98 yards and a touchdown. And Golden Tate, 3 receptions, 85 yards and a touchdown. Marquise Goodwin actually getting it for 4 receptions, 69 and a touchdown. Eric Ebron, who I think is underrated as a tight end, 3 receptions, 52 yards and a touchdown. And Timothy Wright. If I'm being honest, I've never heard of Timothy Wright.
No, I haven't either.
I haven't seen yards and a touchdown. Anything else on this list? It doesn't look like it. And defensively, 4 sacks. We have 1.5 by Chris Baker, 1.5 by Noah Spence, 1 by Keith Spence, 1 by Steve McLendon, 1 by Kerry Hyder Jr., and half a sack by Levante.
Oh, and yeah, I forgot there were a lot of interceptions in this game, and actually for the Lions, they were all spread out. Not everyone got one. Not one person got 2.
Yeah, no kidding. We actually have 2 by Perry Riley Jr., 1 by Levante Davis, 1 by rookie from Florida, Jared Davis, 1 by DJ Hayden, 1 by rookie Eddie Jackson out of Alabama, 1 by Peter Whitehead, 1 by Darius Slade, 1 by Samson Ebuk from rookie out of Eastern Washington, and 1 by Grover Quinn.
Yep, and then 2 forced fumbles in this one too. And again, it says no fumble recovery. So
Eddie Jackson, rookie out of Alabama, and Tahir Whitehead. Safeties, none, and blocks, none, but probably defensive touchdown. 2, 1 by Levante Davis, 1 by DJ Hayden. Can I just make a comment? DJ Hayden looks like he just looks weird.
yeah, that picture is really weird.
Levante Davis, I'm sorry, looked like he don't know why he's there. Like, good luck to the Lions, because I think they either at the top of their division still, or they might be in the run to the top.
I think Lions is 1 and Packers is a game behind the Lions.
Yeah. Well, good luck to both of y'all for the rest of y'all season. See if y'all can make the playoffs.
And then the next one on here, another game like mine. It was technically a forced win, but the game was played.
Yeah, I would have to say it was a close game. The only reason, I'm not making an excuse. He got the win, but really, it was the hit that Marcus Mariota took. It was a late hit. It injured him, and backup Matt Castle came in and he could not throw the ball anywhere. He threw, and it just overthrew everybody. So in the end, the Cardinals took the win on that one.
And then, this next one, Broncos and Jets. I would have thought this would have been a close game coming into it, but Jets has been playing a little unpredictable, I want to say. So we'll come in here and look at these. Actually, kind of a low turnover game if you think about it, because we're seeing early in Madden 18, it's turnover central, yeah.
It's just that rushing game that you avoid the Broncos have.
Yep, and then
on the top.
So going into passing, you can see Chad Kelly 13 yards, so you know he's running the ball. And I think a lot of people knows he runs the ball, and they're daring him to he is daring them to try and stop him.
Oh yeah. Blake Bortles 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, sacked 8 times. Along for 98 or 93 though. So.
Wow. Yeah. Look at rushing. 28 attempts, 411 yards for C.J. Anderson. If that's not Player of the Week, I really don't know what to say. But yep, 4 touchdowns. I'm sure he had quite a bit of long runs in that one too. You see, as long as it was 80.
Christine Michael, not a bad run game.
Yeah, that's a pretty good run game too.
8.3 average, a touchdown and 1 fumble, and then Blake Bortles fumbling twice. Ooh.
Yeah, that probably cost.
And as usual, Robbie Anderson is the top receiver. Marquise Lee also with a touchdown.
Yeah, and then obviously nothing there for the Broncos in receiving. That was all Jets for receptions.
Defensively sacked, so there was 8. And whew.
Wow. Yeah, those Broncos really know how to get there.
One name that's a surprise not being on there though.
Yeah, really though.
Derek Wolfe though getting 3, Shaquille Barrett with 2, Melvin Ingram with 2, Brandon Marshall with 1, and Darren Lee.
Wow, and then checking out interceptions, Shane Ray, that's a familiar name with the Broncos for interceptions.
And Leonard Williams.
Wow, that's a surprise. Left in.
Forced fumbles, there's 3, one by Shane Ray, Shaquille Barrett, and Steve Lee. Which is surprising to see because cornerbacks usually don't force fumbles like that because their hit power is so low.
Yeah. There are a few good corners that you know that can punch out the ball, like Pac-Man Jones and or no, what is it? Charles Tillman? Nah, it was Charles Tillman. Yeah. And then Josh Norman, we know, can do it now too.
Oh, Josh Norman. He plays the ball aggressively.
Oh yeah.
And as you can see, some of his highlights are him getting penalties a lot.
Yeah. So Shane Ray with those. Yeah, both of his interceptions were pick sixes.
Oh, congratulations to you, boy. Good luck for the rest of your season, and Jets, I'm aware. Good luck to you. Who else do we have on this list?
The Redskins and the Chargers, yeah.
2 new users. D. Flashman has been in the league a little longer than Lima Arms, but Arms has got his 2nd win in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think so.
We go in, and Lemur's kind of all around on offense for rushing and passing. Only 2 turnovers to 4, and owned the time of possession for 19 minutes. Chargers only had the ball for 8.
Well, that definitely helps you a lot. I don't know how much, and maybe in video games, but in real life, if you were winning time of possession by that much, I would say you're probably winning the game.
Phillip Rivers, 150 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions. Kirk Cousins, 131 yards, 2 interceptions, sacked 3 times. Didn't get a touchdown, but I guess had a better game.
I think this one was more on the running and turnovers, but yeah.
Robert Kelly, 23 attempts, 111 yards, only a 4.8 average, but.
Well, I would take that any day because that's 3 carries and you're almost at 15 yards. So.
Melvin Gordon really not getting anywhere there. 16 rushes for 49 yards. Receiving game lead receiver was Tyrell Williams, 67 yards and a touchdown. Brian Quick, actually, top receiver for the Redskins.
as you can see, we didn't see a touchdown for the Redskins on receiving or running, so that means his only touchdowns came off the defense. But I mean, I wouldn't complain about that. Defense wins games.
Defensively for sacks, Derek Barnett, rookie out of Tennessee with 2, and Kyle Emmanuel. Was it the interceptions? Like, oh yeah. Okay. Interception flag, Monte Nicholson, rookie out of Michigan State with 2. Look at those 78 interception yards. Dwight Lowry with 1, Jason Brett with 1, DJ Swearinger with 1, Josh Allen. I want to say that they 2 of those people got, either 1 or 2 of those people got touchdowns.
Yeah.
No forced fumbles. Block kicks, or safeties.
Yeah, but then you see 1 defensive touchdown, so you were right, the 1 pick 6. And then his other 6 points probably came off of field goals.
9 points.
Oh yeah, his other 9 points.
Let's see, kicking, did he have 3 field goals? Yep, 3 field goals attempted, 3 field goals made. His longest was a 54-yarder, so that's not bad.
Alright, I think with both of them are out of the playoffs, so good luck in the off season to them. Hopefully you build your squads the way you want them. I think neither of them really had a chance at making the playoffs when they came in, so obviously you can't blame them for anything.
We're on 0 again.
Yeah.
But yeah, good luck to you guys next season and the seasons after.
I think that's the same with the Eagles Rams. Neither really can make the playoffs, but well, the Rams. I'm not 100% sure. Look at this. This one was another close-ish one based off of stats, but as you can see, 6 turnovers for the Eagles and only 1 for the Rams.
I don't think I've seen any game have 0 turnovers this season. I think someone always had 1 turnover, be it fumble, be it interception.
I really think it's going to be hard to have 0 turnovers in a game. I mean, it might happen in season 2, but I don't think anything would happen in season 1 like that. Especially with all the coaching adjustments you can make now, like trying to strip the ball and like all that.
Hits, play the ball.
Yeah.
We actually see in the passing game, Jared Goff 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, sacked twice. Two last year's top 2 bigs going at it, and Jared Goff has won this game, even though it wasn't yards, because Carson Wentz had 248 yards, 4 interceptions, 4 sacks. He did not give the ball up that much. 119.7 passer rating, completion percentage 76.
Moving over to the running game, Todd Gurley, leading rusher for the game, actually. 123 yards off 26 attempts, 4.7 average. Like we said, that's a good average. I'd take that. Three handoffs, first down every time.
Had 1 touchdown. Carson Wentz fumbling. Wendell Smallwood fumbling. Just fumbles. Like, y'all need rushing with the quarterback's a good idea if you can't throw it, but slide. This game, you cannot just take these hits. You're either forcing an injury or you're forcing a fumble.
Yeah, especially with the injuries are in this game are a lot more frequent than they were in 17. As you guys, I mean, I got the injury sliders down, but I mean, for a lot of reasons, you don't want to just take hits with your quarterback. But
Danny Vital also having a touchdown himself on 3 yards.
See receiving here. Mac Hollins. That's a name I haven't heard much.
They had a good game.
5 receptions for 127 yards. And then every time. Gerald Everett, 2 receptions for 50 yards, a tight end. I would take that from a tight end.
Rookie from South Alabama too. Not even Alabama, but South Alabama. Newly acquired Sammy Watkins.
With that touchdown, that's not a surprise.
Kyler Higbee, though. 2 receptions, 23 yards, and a touchdown. Kyler Higbee. Ooh. Hasn't shown up much this season.
Check it. Wow, yeah. A lot of interceptions. Oh, we forgot to do sacks first. Hold on.
Yeah, look at Zach. Some of these aren't surprised to see, but...
No, not at all. 2 from Aaron Donald, 1 from Robert Quinn, and 1 from Fletcher Cox. Those are 3 right there. And even Tim Jernigan, not a surprise, but Howard Jones, that's a name I haven't really heard of.
Interceptions. So there are quite a few on here. Connor Barwin, Robert Quinn, Maurice Alexander, Alec Ogletree, Ronnie McLeod Jr., and Nick Brody. Oof. I think the Rams had a field day today.
Yeah, definitely. Let's check if he had any forced fumbles yet.
Aaron Donald and Howard Jones both on the first fumble. Which isn't a surprise seeing Aaron Donald out there.
Yeah, and you can tell one of them was actually recovered by the Rams because it says return yards but no recoveries.
2 return yards.
Yeah, and it was those 2 or never mind, that's a different person, sorry. But there was a pick 6 by Robert Quinn.
Congratulations to the Rams. Good luck to both of y'all. What else we got going on here? Big game right here. Cowboys and Giants.
And this one was another, well, I guess the Cowboys were a little further ahead than the Giants in yards, but yeah, another one that looks like turnovers. A big part of that.
I think the Cowboys needed this though for the NFC, especially to keep his division.
Yeah, and I think he might have clinched the division with that win. Not 100% sure, because I don't remember the exact records of each team, but I think he clinched the division with that win.
I know he's beat the Giants twice, so
yeah.
Passing game. 175 yards by Dak, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Eli Manning, 256 yards, 2 interceptions, or 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, sacked 5 times. Dak and Eli really have not had a season. Both have been really bad this season.
In the rushing game, Ezekiel Elliott, 174 yards, 27 attempts, 3 touchdowns, 6.4 average. If he wasn't hurt, I think he would be towards the top in rushing for the season.
I think he'd be one of the top 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Paul Perkins, 10 attempts for 88 yards, 8.8 average, and 2 touchdowns. But for the Giants, it's hard to get that ball moving, especially with that O-line up there behind.
Yeah. So 10 carries for 88 yards is pretty good, I would say.
Yeah.
Oh, and then going over to receiving, he led in receptions, not yards, but Perkins did lead in receptions too, so it looks like he's a pretty good dual threat out of the backfield for the Giants. And yeah, of course, not a surprise.
It's surprising to see Zeke actually leading the Cowboys for yards.
Yeah, and I remember from Madden 17 too, Prophet used Zeke as a dual threat as well. So not too much of a surprise to see him as a dual threat, but a little surprised to see him leading and receiving.
Terrence Williams having himself a touchdown. Rookie Evan Ingram out of Ole Miss having a touchdown. And rookie out of North Carolina, Ryan Switzer, having a touchdown. It's surprising to see because Jason Whitney usually leads the team in yards. And he's only got one reception. Looks like Crawford might have only thrown to him one time.
Yeah, and then moving over to sacks. This really stat line. This is really not surprising. Seeing the Cowboys with 5 sacks on the Giants with their bad offensive line, and then no sacks for the Giants. You know they got a good D line, but the Cowboys have a good O line too. So it's not too surprising to see no sacks on the quarterback.
Marcus Lawrence, Stephen Pea, and David Irving all having themselves a good day with the D line. In the interceptions, we have Nick Vigil with 2, Anthony Gibson with 2, DJ Dixon with 1, Anthony Brown with 1, Robert Plant with 1, and Jacoby Owusu, rookie out of Colorado, who looks like he got a pick 6 with 98 yards return.
I would hope that's a pick 6. It'd be really disappointing if he was caught at the 1.
Yeah. No fumbles. Blocks. I like to see blocks or safeties because they're really hard to come by in this game.
Yeah. And
defensive touchdowns.
Jacoby Owusu, yep, like we said. Now see, let's look at the score again here. Let's see, 45-26. That could have been a real difference maker in this game, honestly, because think about it, take 7 off the Cowboys and add 7 to the Giants. Now the Cowboys obviously would still have the lead there, but that might have, yeah.
Really been so much closer game. Well, good luck to the Cowboys in making the playoffs. Good luck to the Giants and see if they make the playoffs at the number 2 spot. Good luck to everybody because we are in week 15, guys. We have 3 weeks left. Week 15, 16, 17 for the playoffs come around.
Yeah, and
it's getting tough, guys.
Yeah, it's getting really exciting though. First playoffs in Madden 18. Excited to see who comes out on top. Excited to see who wins the Super Bowl for the first year of ComboLG in Madden 18.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so that was the recap for week 14. Now we're going to move on to week 15, talk about our game of the week. And for this week, and this was a tough choice. You know, there were a couple games in here that we were really thinking about. Ravens and Browns. We decided to choose this one because this is a division game, and I don't remember. I think it was a close game last time they played.
Yeah.
But Ungwe beat Reaper Shed last time, and I know Reaper Shad's gonna want to get his revenge, and he's fighting for a playoff spot. So this win would be important for him. So that's why we think he's gonna go out there and play strong, and that's why we chose this as the game of the week.
But let's get into this. We all know how this works. Put your comments below who you think who's going to win and why, and we're going to tell you what we think. Alright, we all know this is going to be a defensive battle, especially what y'all just listened to. Miles Garrett leading in sacks, getting past in the O-line, and taking people down. But you also got the Baltimore Ravens, led by both Eric Weddle and the defensive back, and then you got Terrell Suggs, the most ruthless pass rushers ever. So this is going to be a defensive battle because we know what we've seen so far is Ungwe having trouble with that passing game, and I think Eric Weddle is going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's a defensive game. What do you think? What's going through your mind? What do you think is going to happen in this game? Who do you think is going to take over for the? Do you think someone else is going to take over for the Browns? Someone else is going to take over for the Ravens? How's this going to work for defense?
I gotta say, in a defensive battle like this, I honestly think whoever, obviously turnovers, whoever doesn't turn the ball over, whoever turns it over the least, But I want to say whoever can run the ball better in this game might end up being the one who comes out on top. Because with two good defenses like this, running the ball, having a consistent running game really helps out. And passing, even if your passing game is consistent, at any time you could throw an interception and the momentum can change it all. I mean, it could be true with the ground game too, a fumble. But like I said, I think whoever runs the ball better wins this game.
Alright. But we all know running game is going to be hard, especially when Terrell Suggs is there. Isaiah Crowell is going to have a monstrous time. You got Terrell Suggs, you have even Eric Weddle, who's got that power, who can knock people off their feet without a problem. But then you got the Ravens. He has a pretty consistent rushing game. But then you got Emmanuel Ogba and Myles Garrett on the ends right there. How are you gonna get past them? They're gonna stop you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's whoever is more creative with the run game. I mean, that's how it seems to be this year. Like, if you know the go-to plays for running the ball, even with like a good defensive line, you can still run pretty well.
Alright, let's look at this then. We're coming down to the final question. Who are you rooting for? Who do you think has the upper hand in this game?
Now, I don't think I'm rooting for anyone in this game. But
who do you think has the upper hand? Who's going to tip the scales in their favor?
Upper hand, I would have to give to Ungwe the Browns. I mean, I don't really know how much home field advantage has in Madden, but that really wasn't in the thought process. I'm thinking because he lost last week to a new guy in the league, and I mean, I would find that a little embarrassing, and he's still fighting to be in the top of the AFC for playoffs. You know, maybe I think he's still going for that first round bye, and I think he really wants it. I honestly think he's got the upper edge in this one.
I'm gonna have to disagree only because I think the Ravens is out for blood. I think Reaper Chad's coming with a vengeance. I think he's gonna come. He's gonna release the hounds, the all-out blitz, getting inside the pocket, taking down Isaiah Crowell and taking down Deshaun Kaiser. I think he's got it in him, and I think he's got this in the bag.
All right, well, we're gonna find out. Hopefully they announce when they're gonna play beforehand, so we can all tune in for the stream.
All right. So we got just who won the weekly awards.
Now let me get over there real quick.
At the yearly awards, we will do it once we advance into the wild card. We will show you who has won.
Oh, clicked on the wrong one.
I think they deserve it. The people that won this, I think, deserve it for week 14.
Yeah.
Kenny Galladay, HaHa Clinton, C.J. Anderson, and Shane Wright, all having games.
Yeah, good job to all four of those players. As a team, I would like to see what's happening with the Broncos here. You got an offensive and a defensive player on the Player of the Week. That just means everything's going your way in that game. But
we all know that you could have a good regular season, but we all know it comes down to how you do in the playoffs.
Yeah, and we got a couple comments here. Let's go. I want to check those before we end this.
Oh, we got some comments. Usually it's people saying hi. So.
Killa, it's Lil Killa. He said, "I'm still in the playoff hunt, even with not being able to play for a month." And well, that is true. He did. He was fortunate with some wins in Fair Sims, because people agreed to Fair Sims since neither of them could play, which is 100% okay. But yeah, that is pretty lucky that he's still in the playoff hunt, with most fair Sims coming with wins.
Well, as always, guys, if you did enjoy, hit that like button. Guys, y'all are doing really well. I'm liking the support we're getting on this. 10 likes always is the like goal. We have 22 subscribers now. We went up 2 subscribers, which is amazing. I'm on the hunt for 100. That's my goal, is trying to get 100 before the end of the year. And you're like, well, that's far away. Actually, it's not. It's only 3 months. 3 months before it's the 2018 year. I'm trying to reach 100. So help us out. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, so you know when we're live streaming. Or if we just upload a video, hit that like button. Guys, this takes like if you're slow, it takes 5 seconds max. If you're fast, it takes like 2.
Yeah,
help us out, support us. We have some ideas we're going to try to do, but we got to get bigger before we can do it.
Yeah, and I do want to say, I already announced this to you guys, but we do want to do a top 10 plays of the week. So, but it's something we want to do, but like it's kind of on you guys for this, because you guys are the ones that actually have to take the initiative to save your video clip and send it to us, or actually post it to YouTube, and then we would get it off of YouTube. But yeah, you guys are the ones that have to actually do this to yourself for this to happen. But this would be something we would love to see.
If you don't want to just post them to YouTube, but you know how to email them, all you need to do is, if you save it, if you have recording equipment, then you can record to your computer. Or if you don't, you can save them and then you can download them to USB. All we're looking for is a 10-second to, I want to say a max of 30 seconds, guys. Not a very long one. But 10 seconds to 30 seconds, you can take a USB, put it in your PS4, download the save, and email us. Our emails are there are 3 emails, guys. There are 3 emails. You can put them on, or you can send it to all of them, or just one of them on the website. Or you can send it to us on Twitter.
It sounds like it's like a pain to do, but it's really not. Like, you see a play that you think was a really like highlight play, all you got to do is hit the share button and then go down, save video clip, and boom, that's it. You don't even have to edit it, we'll do it for you. Just save the video clip and just post it to YouTube, or email it to us, whatever you want to do. We'll try and make it as easy on you as possible, because we want to get this in.
We're thinking 2 ideas, guys, so we're going to try them 2 different ways. 2 ideas. One is just to post each one and give it a title on the channel, or the other is actually making a top 10 compilation. If it is just one at a time, we're only going to be posting 10. If you send in multiple, don't worry, they might get in later weeks, but we'll do 10, and then we'll do a podcast and do 10 more for that week.
Yeah, and
don't worry, if you don't get it in 1 week, you might be in another week.
And we're going to try and do it like what you would see on SportsCenter. So like you could have 2 plays from the same game in the top 10. But this also kind of depends. Obviously, the minimum amount we would want to do it is 10 videos, since it's a top 10. So if we get 10 videos, even if one of them may not be like the best highlight in our opinion, we'll still obviously put them in order and just send them out, because we got the 10 video minimum, which is what we're looking for.
If we get 30, y'all 30, or even your friends send us ones from their leagues, we're gonna have to go through them, boom, and we will pick the best 10, and we will post them to our channel. And then we will keep in mind, guys, we will go back to those. We will not just discard them and wait for another top 10. We will go back to those other ones, and in a following week, maybe they'll get in that week.
Yeah, and I'll try and before their people announce their games, I'll try and tell everyone to remember to save their video clips if they have a highlight play. And
if you stream on Twitch, there is a thing, if you stream on Twitch, that you can do on your mobile device, where you can select a clip out of your stream that you're doing, and you can take that clip too. It does not have to be off of YouTube. You could be streaming on Twitch and take a clip off of there.
Yeah, and even if you're not sure if it's a highlight play or not, just save it and send it to us, because we want to at least get the 10 videos.
But as always, guys, hit that like, subscribe if you're new. We know y'all do enjoy this, because y'all just keep coming back. I'm your host, Avengers. Alongside us is our newly acquired returner host.
Yep, good to be back. Thank you guys for watching.